Hello and welcome back. I'm Bibojo and this is Work As Resources Soviet Republic. Today we will take a look at another comrade's map that they sent in and looks pretty cool. Today's comrade is Blinde Q. I'm gonna go with that because I think it's German. I'd like to assume I'm right about Blinde Q because it's a play on Blinde Kuh, which just means blind cow in German, but spelled funny, and it's not really translatable. Blind Q doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna go with that. Yes, it's definitely a German player. I don't know. Oh, Leipzig. Actually, they mentioned it. So yeah, thanks for sending this. This is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool map, actually. I look at it and I'm just like, oh, this is nice. There is plenty of water, but nothing is connected, and they actually were able to build on both sides of the river. Actually on this little peninsula, if you want to call it that too. So there's a lot of going on, a lot of use of bridges and other things, and there's actually one problem that they mentioned that they want me to look at, which is a bridge problem, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have a similar issue. But other than that, I just want to look at what's going on here. And as usual, I like to start in the beginning. They said everything is working fine. Obviously, money-wise, everything is great. Percentages, 96 happiness is good. 84 health, it's not great. Your pollution is pretty high. 20%, you gotta look at that, especially with the new update. This is not gonna fly. But they also said that this was the first map where they played with heat on, so I understand that there are some problems probably, potentially. So keep that in mind. Average lifespan, all that other stuff looks fine. Unemployment, this is actually really good. That's telling me that the public transport system is really working. So awesome. Citizens, you have more citizens in your map than I had in my season 3, so good job. I mean, as far as I know, I'm told that they played on cosmonaut mode pretty much the whole time, so I'm kind of impressed. And I know that this is a starting city. As you can see, started with a hotel because that's how you make money in the previous versions of this game. And I see there's some loyalty added already with the secret police. So yeah, there's a bunch of different things here. Medical University, that's actually a pretty nice looking one. I would expect this one to be a little cheaper, but I mean, this is a pretty cool starter town. I like this. The amphitheater. Would be nice if there was an animation of people inside yet, but maybe a 3 division will enable that at some point, but this looks pretty good. This, however, 3 to 71, that feels a little OP, so I would worry about that. Nice. No, nice city. I see that you have never updated the road path here. I understand why. Butcher shop where you get meat, and here's where you get that. Huh. Interesting that you didn't have them at the same, like in the same store, but that's okay. Yeah, one of the things that I learned, and they asked me to point out whatever I see because I think they're pretty much done with this map, so they want to learn for the next map, and I hope I can do that. One thing that I just learned, look at the last distribution office guide that I put out, because you can actually make this really efficient for vehicles, mostly, especially if you only have 2 slots available for, well, 4 different cargos. You can technically transport 3 cargos in 1 truck, but it's not that great, so distribution offices could help you. I need to do some more tests, but I think that would be really helpful in this area. So keep that in mind. Did you drop off meat in both places? Very interesting. I think in this case, if you play like this, don't bring meat to the small shopping center at all. Only bring it to the meat butcher shop, and they can figure out what they want to do from there. But yeah, pretty nice. Obviously the road system. I actually really like the road system. What I don't mind, actually what I like, you have your rail yard spaced out a little more than I usually do. I put them to snap together. It's possible that when you started this map, you didn't have the snap option. I don't know about that, but you space them out a little more. That looks pretty good, and it's pretty clear to me that your trains are shorter than your blocks that you have, so that is good. And it looks like you're using the signals that I would recommend, so I have nothing to say here at all. And your throughput seems to be pretty, I mean, good. There are no problems here, so moving on. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot going on here. I had the frame rate picker chooser on earlier, and when I look up, it's about 23, so there's a lot going on on this map, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, starter area. What do we have going on here? Jawohl, which is just a really strong yep. I'm gonna throw my German translations in here whenever I can. You gotta use the skills that you have. Is a language a skill if you grew up with it? I'm gonna go with maybe. Maybe. Yeah, so you have Olsdiever City, couple skyscrapers, university over here that looks nice, construction, a heliport platform, interesting. Do you actually have helicopters coming over here? Because I haven't seen any helicopters. Nope, these are just buses. Just buses, no helicopters. It's probably just you wanted to try them out and we're just like, I don't really need them. That makes sense. Where are these buses going? All the way over here, I think. No, it can't be. That can't be right. Where are you going, bus? Okay, you're going up here. There is a coal mine. Cool. And then there's a stone area bus stop. Why does the stone area need people? Oh, this is cool. A gravel quarry that is directly connected to rail. That is interesting. I may consider that. This makes enough sense. If I would play it, I would just put a smaller shunter train on here. Obviously, it costs more money, but I think that would be cool because it is producing pretty well, and these trains are just filling up slowly, and then you can bring them to a combination. There are the larger storage units that I've seen in some other playthroughs. I would use those. So I have just a shunter pick up from here. There's no internal storage, and I'm assuming there's also no conveyor belt connection, but that could be really cool. I like it. So that's pretty nice. Fields. The one thing that I see is you have the crop fields everywhere, and that is awesome because you can never have enough crops in your republic. I think I saw a paper on this game, a paper once, where someone was mapping out if you want to supply enough crops for your whole republic of, let's say, 50,000, maybe it was 100,000, but a pretty large republic. If you want to supply everyone in your republic, the 16 by 16 kilometer square area of this map is not enough if you fill it completely with fields. So yeah, no, every time you have a chance, put a farm down, especially now with the smaller farms. That is awesome. What do you got here? Coal ore processing. This looks nice, but it looks very plopped down. It looks very much like you tried a lot of things that worked out, but this reminds me a little bit of, there's a YouTuber out there that kind of plays very similar, and I mean, if you like him, that's fine. But yeah, just planning out your industries a little more in advance, I think could make things look a little prettier, although I like the just make it work now, and as long as it works, why fix it type of style. I mean, you see me play, so there's that. You use a lot of conveyors. They are very functional. I think I like to have wow. I like to have vehicles move around. That's just what I want to do. Like what you have here with the construction offices. I'm assuming. Oh, you did say cosmonaut mode. I do wonder if you built all of these helicopters yourself or if you bought them. I'm gonna give you the benefit of a doubt and say you built them. Yeah. I mean, this is all really nice. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it looks very all over the place is the best way for me to describe it. Like, it's hard for me to tell where things are. So gravel starts here after you drop it off here. And I'm assuming trains. I would have thought the trains from over here. Let's see if I find one. You. Where do you go? I was thinking the trains from over here go to that drop-off area, but they do. They just take a really roundabout way. Yeah, that's fine. But I think you may enjoy it more. Maybe not. I'm just projecting here, and that's just me. I think you would enjoy it more if you plan your area out a little more beforehand and maybe concentrate your industries a little bit in some areas. But that's just a playstyle. There's nothing wrong with it. Cloverleaf, yep, it works. That's all you need to say to that. You made it really wide that I think all your trains will fit inside the blocks that you have inside your rail. It's called a rail trap. Yeah, so they don't block anyone else. That's a lot better than what I usually do. I usually just slap it in and make sure that it's somewhat operational. Like, what would I think you could have done here? It's probably fine. I actually really like this bridge. This is just like appropriate height, appropriate area. It's just in a little gully here where there's nothing else that needs to go on, and you have roads just running next to your rails everywhere. That's pretty cool. I like that. And then yeah, we have more fields, farms. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's all I have for that. And what happened here? I would have expected to see you continue through with your highway system that you started right at the beginning. It is not super functional and necessary, but I think it looks really cool in just overall in the Republic. But that's fine. What do we have here? Food and alcohol. Now this is what I'm talking about. Nice planned infrastructure for everything. A big warehouse connected to all these things. Okay, I may actually steal that. I really like this design that you use. Okay, the big warehouse is a little too big for me, for my taste. But you're using the, just one place does everything just for one building, which means you don't need an in and out. You just need an in because the in is also the out. That actually makes perfect sense to me, and I may actually use this. And I'm assuming you're mostly full on all your resources, so that is awesome. This one hopefully can reach everyone. Yep, no problem. And with the new bridges and all that stuff, that makes life a lot easier. So yeah, no, I may actually steal this complex. I really, really like it. This is pretty cool. Awesome, good job. So what I said earlier, you're already doing that, so just ignore everything I said because it's unfair now and I realize that. I don't really look at the whole map before I start saying stuff. Not sure what's going on here. Because I mean, obviously this was probably built afterwards, but having another food industry right here may have been just a part of the just slap it in first and then figure out how to make it work later. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with that at all. No, I still like it. This, I understand how this happens, but I would say, and you asked me for a couple railroad tips too. What I would say you should do here, and I've done that before, I'm not going to do this because it's probably going to take forever, but essentially build your street wherever you want it, doesn't really matter where. Then take your excavators and build just a thing around it, and you don't actually have to put it on both sides. If I put the ugly on, I may be able to see it a little more. If I turn the speed up, I should be able to get there a little faster. Just get it high enough, maybe here-ish. Get it high enough on this side too. And you don't have to do it on both sides. You can do it just on one side, but what I prefer doing compared to what you were doing over there is find the slot where you can essentially connect everything to the ground. So I would put a mount here, connect all your rail to that mount, put another mount here, and let the rail run over that, or just put a mount right here and have all the rail pieces converge into that, and then you don't need this hump, where trains just like kind of bump over it, and I just think it looks nicer, especially for rail tracks. Obviously, there is a right height, and there's actually a video out there, not from me, someone else made it, that tells you exactly how high you got to go here, but I don't think it's that important. You just play with it until you can build the rail piece that you want to build. There you go. And now from here, it's just a general rule of thumb. You can have a really relatively smooth grade on your rail. It's never perfect, but if we build that, thank you, and turn the ugly off, then obviously it's not perfect because you have to smooth that out a little more, but now you have a relatively nice looking thing and just a bridge that goes over there, because I don't like these ramps. But enough of me saying that I don't like things, because I actually really like this map and I like what you did with it. So, ooh. Did someone get inspired by some overpasses either from the Netherlands or from City Skylines? I'm gonna go take either. I don't think those overpasses are only in the Netherlands, but I kind of like this. This is pretty cool. This is pretty sweet. This may make it onto the thumbnail. I'm gonna take a thumbnail right now. Yep. Overpasses, green buses, bunch of vehicles. Take another one. I need more vehicles in the screen. There you go. That green bus in the middle is perfect. I don't know if that's going to make it, but it's very possible that it will, because that is something unique and cool that I haven't seen before. I want to see the same thing with a roundabout that you just built. I don't think you can make the bridges curve, but this is pretty cool. Like the overpasses, I like it. I can appreciate that. Bravo. Awesome. Cool. But yeah, just another city. Outside of the overpasses, which is honestly really cool, it looks pretty standard, and that is nice. You have the solar power plant. I have never built it. What can you produce? 560. I don't even know what that compares to. What does this one do? You do about half of this, plus you don't work at night, plus you don't work in the rain. So yeah, there's the thing. This is a cool thing. I see this across the map in a lot of places when I looked at it. You just have bridges in a lot of places and usually adequate. And you do have a lot of gullies that just happen to exist on this map, which is pretty cool. Like there. I don't know if you added that or if this was added already, but it looks really nice and I like it. And I like mountainous terrain, so that is pretty cool. This This makes perfect sense. You just have oil. Everything that's related to oil over here, and that's awesome. And I like what you do in here. Use the large quantity material to come in here. Hopefully by train. There must be a train connected somewhere. Yep, definitely a couple. There's a train going somewhere from somewhere, and you have relatively long... Wow. Oh, this is great. Yes, I love train lines that go a really long way to get places. Love it. I guess you pick it up from here? Liquids unloading station. Interesting. Anyways, really like it. I think you're just using other connections. Like, use the same oil train to drop off different places, and that's cool. That's fine. Just make it a real main line. That's pretty awesome. But no, I like this. This is great. This is just pretty. What do you have going on over here? Yep, you use pipelines to bring it out to this area. This, again, looks really, really nice. And then just unload it. I'm assuming you have fuel and bitumen. I learned that each of these should get their own harbor. That makes organization with your ships a lot easier once you go past 2 ships. Maybe you only have 2 ships sitting here. Nope, you have 5, 7 ships sitting there. So that's one thing I would recommend. 1 harbor per cargo type. Unless you have ships that do multiple cargo types and you can control how much they take of each. Then you can do just 1 cargo harbor per thing. But for the liquids, I would just go for 1. Let's see if this is happening here. Yeah. Well, they're both unloading oil. Where are you unloading oil to? Oh, there's another exit over here. Yeah. I would definitely do 1 for unloading at least, and then a couple for something else. But obviously it's working. It's working pretty well. I don't know what you're doing here to pick them up and drop them off, but I like the ship traffic that you have. That is awesome. Great. There's a long bridge. That's one of the long bridges. This is not the one you were talking about that you want help with, so I'm not going to concentrate on that guy. Got some oil over here. Very nice. What is this? Are you a locomotive? Very nice. I like it. Yeah, I mean, you're doing what I mentioned earlier right here with the mountains. I just think it looks a lot smoother, but hey, you do you. That's fine. Got some other industries over here. Very, very, very nice. What I do like, what I like a lot, is look at the number of workers that you have in your factories. That is amazing. That is something I love to see. With the new update, this should be easier to do, but this is the old map. I'm playing on the old beta version, not on the internal test version, so this is without crime and justice and all the optimizations that came with that. Nice. This is... I'm jealous of this. You have enough engineers sitting there. That is awesome. But it also looks like your education is pretty high across your city in general. Yeah, you're essentially all educated, so that makes it a little less impressive. That's going to change again in the next update, so get ready. But no, I like this. This is pretty cool. You're producing a lot. You're full of vehicles. That's nice. You have these loading stations. This is all set up really, really nicely. I dare say very similar to what I would do. But I don't know that that is a really high bar to set up there. But yeah, you have rail that comes in, rail that goes out, and everything's kind of connected, and you can get from one place to another. That is awesome. This is something I'm probably going to build at some point because I really like the big processing plants. This is 4 times, a little more than 3 times as big as the regular processing plants that you have. And I'm assuming this is just about that amount of bigger in processing because I really hate mods that change the industrial proportions because they just kind of break the game. You drive on the left? I guess you're driving on the left. That is... Oh, you have this one come over this way. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I mean, that's fine. You can cross there. I don't think there was a reason to really cross here, but hey, that's fine. You do you. This is a very pretty city. I'm surprised to see that you have a church there, but Wolfsburg, of course, needs a church because every German city has a church. Very nicely planned. I like the quadrants that you have set up here. I also like that you didn't go crazy on the grid. You just have a general road grid. This is a pretty cool plaza. I don't know if anyone saw that, but I'm really into this whole using this paint now more in the game, and I really want to do it, and I'm excited to start using that on the next one. This one, the plaza with the heat exchanger right in the middle, looks a little funny, but I like the rest of it. No, I like it. I always like put a couple trees in, put a couple fountains in. The orphanage is in the center of the city. That is pretty cool. No, this is a nice city. I can see myself trying to build this. What is this? Also university. Yeah, that's very nice. I would be interested to see, very honestly, I would like you, Actually, I could probably try it too, but I would like you to try, once the Crime and Justice comes out and is deemed playable, that you make this map continue, because it looks like you are providing a lot of things that you need. It looks like you don't do alcohol, which is maybe a problem for the new branch, but I would like to see, because this one seems like it's better set up than what my Season 3 was, which is, again, not a high bar, but I would really like to know if yours survives, because mine didn't, as you saw in the live stream, if you ever watched it. So yeah, there's that. This one is too close to the city. It needs to be like where the nuclear power plant is, but that is fine. So yeah, that's good. I can just give you a number too, because we have a measuring tool now. This one currently is, I guess, to the first building, is barely 400 meters away. The pollution, I know, at least affects 500 meters. I think it may even go to 750. 1 kilometer is a good distance. And 1 kilometer from where we are is just around here. Just around there. That's how far you want them away, but the further you get them away, the more heat loss you have, so sometimes you just need to add a couple extra heating plants. But it's totally worth it for the health benefit that you get from being further away. Just for next time. I know this is the first time you played with heat on, so just thought I'd point that out, but don't worry about it too much. How are we doing on time? 22 minutes. Yeah, we're good. More farms. Again, really like it. It looks like you are effectively using my setup. Just happy to see that. That's great. I love how many trains you have running here. Wow. I think this is the map that I've so far reviewed that had by far the most trains. And like big trains, long trains, functional trains, they don't just sit. I'm assuming they run full most of the time. Full. Great. You're probably full with a bunch of stuff. That is awesome. You are just about to fill up, and oh, I like it. Livestock farms. Yep. This looks great. The bigger storages grow on me. I don't love them, because I think they make the setup of these industrial complexes really easy, but they do make sense to have. They 100% make sense to have. Slaughterhouse. Interesting. How do you get them here? Do you just drop them off of these trucks? I'm assuming that's what these trucks do. Livestock haul range. Yeah, you pick them up there, and then you bring them over here, and then you slaughter them. Okay. That makes sense. I like it. I have to look at the ratio, but I think this is pretty close to what food normally goes for. So... livestock ranges, this one is that's the stable. That's not helping. Slaughterhouse, no. There you go, livestock farm, that's what I wanted. 60 to 26, no, 5 to 10. So yeah, the range is the same. No, I like this. I like this. I may use these. They look nice and they don't break the game, so awesome. Kudos. Yep, this makes sense. This is a big warehouse. This is appropriately sized for a warehouse, and this may be your central distribution hub, which will be really cool to use with the new rail distribution office that's coming. Yep, this will be great. I like this. I like this. This looks just like a really big distribution hub for a bunch of different things that anyone could ever use. I like that. This is a drop-off for gravel and for coal. Got it. This is a drop-off for cement. Got it. This rail yard makes a lot of sense. It reminds me a little bit of my big rail yard that I did in Season 1, which was really fun to build, and I can imagine that you had a lot of fun building this area because everything is here. I think you called yourself out on a lot of spaghetti rail, but honestly, I don't see a lot of that. These junctions are a little closer together than they need to be, but we can see if we can fix it a little bit. Is there anything else that I need to look at? Yes, we had a TV and radio station set up over here at this city again. Honestly, very pretty. Very pretty. You went a little more gritty on here, but nothing wrong with that. I still like it. I still like your layouts, and I think as long as everyone is happy. Culture, sport. Sport is a problem. You should work on that. That's also why your health is so low, potentially. Yeah. Airport. One thing I have to say about this, I really like it. I like the layout. I like where the airport is. I like that you have the airport production line over here. I like that you have a fence around it. I do not like that you don't have the fence continuing around here. You could have just built a couple more of these gate posts and called it good, but I mean, I get it. I get it. You could probably just close the fence up right around here. That would have been fine. I do like this Pisky station. That's very nice. But yeah, no, this setup overall is pretty cool. These windmills over here, are these from... Oh. I don't... Yeah, I think these are the vanilla ones. I'm surprised that they can power this guy. Underground thermal heating. Yep, they do function. And another city over here with beaches. Is this, I guess, oh yeah, there are a couple hotels here. So another hotel city just to make some money. That makes sense. And then more crops. And again, the thing that I am really, really impressed by is how your trains are actually running around and doing things and getting things done with crops. Bravo. I I'm almost wondering. I want to see now. Do you import any crops at all? Import of resources? Nothing. Wow. Wow. I haven't seen that in such a long time. Just last year. I guess last year you did a little bit. This year you did a little bit just this month. Okay. What did you import last year? Just want to see now. Import resources. A little bit of oil. You're not, well, you're importing oil. I saw that. Meat. That's surprising that you're not able to produce enough in that area. Fuel. This sounds like you're setting up something funky if you import oil and fuel. The rest makes sense. Gravel. This sounds like you ought to build something. The stuff down here just sounds like you ought to build something really quick. Same with steel. Aluminum. Okay, you just don't have a setup for that yet. That's fine. Yeah, I was expecting to see some crop in here, but you don't import any crops or anything that's produced with crops besides meat. So honestly, I'm pretty impressed by that. Okay, let's get to the thing that you wanted some help with, which is this rail bridge. It's big, it's bulky, it's one block. And that is the problem. I'm assuming that's the problem anyways. So yes, there are a couple things that we can do. This guy, I would like you to not cross that bridge right now. Can I just take this one out? I can't take that one out. I will show you a simple way to make this better. It's not something you can just do. Okay. But it's something that has to be done. So the problem is with these rail bridges or bridges in general that they are generated as one long thing. Looks like this. Now you have a long thing of bridge. Is that exciting? No, it's not exciting because it's just one block now and you can only fit one train on it. So your train, why is there a kink in there like that? But this just means you can never fit more than one train on the bridge, and that is bad. What you really want is to segment out your bridge. The only way you can do that in a pretty manner, and I'm going to try to do this again without having that kink there that we just saw. Maybe if I start on this side, it's a little better. No, there's still a kink, like right there. So I think if I just... this is what I'm going to do. I'll let that guy leave, and then we're going to destroy a little bit of this side too. And I do realize that... come on, get behind the next semaphore. Great. I do realize that part of those rails or bridges were electrified and part weren't, so I will try to recognize that. But yeah, here's the thing that you can do here. Figure out where your rail is. I'm going to do the electric one first. Figure out where your rail is. Like there. Hey, there's no kink in there. Wonderful. Figure out where it is. And then you want to build essentially this in a way that you have some stops in between. Since I already know where my rail is, you just have to figure out what is a good distance for your trains. How long are your trains? I have no idea. I'm just going to assume something. So go from here to maybe 300 meters feels very appropriate. So we put one there, and then we put another one probably somewhere here. Not even there. But those are our two dots that we're going to use to build some islands. You only have to build them at the beginning, and as long as you leave enough room in between, there shouldn't be an issue with your bridges. So the first one, you have to build the first bridge, so you have something to connect to on the side. The second thing you have to do is get terraforming. I know this is boring, and it takes a while, but you have to do it, otherwise you can't do anything. One thing that I would recommend, once you know how you're all laid out, to remove everything that you had before, so you can actually do the terraforming like you want to. And then the thing with terraforming, and I have auto build on just because I want to speed this up a little bit. You could cheat this too if you really wanted to. The one thing you have to do with terraforming is to make sure that you terraform around, because if you just terraform in one spot, you're essentially on a mountain, and once your slope is too big, you cannot terraform anymore. I know I talked about that before. This looks like a really deep trench. which is pretty cool. I want to leave a channel in the middle here. I don't want to mess with that at all. So I'm trying to go over to the outside a little bit more. And if you really can't get up to where you want to be, use a cheat. With the cheat menu, you can actually do a lot more terraforming, a lot more steeply. And then you don't have to worry about this. But I would assume at this point, we're still plenty deep enough for ships to go over. So just continue this until you see some land. There's some land right there. Wonderful. We need land over here though, so I guess we go this way a little bit. I'm gonna count this as a win. We're pretty close to where I want to be. Just a little more on this side, and then that's our first island. The second one will be over here. It's gonna take the same amount of time, so give me a sec. I'm going to call this good. I don't have to get it super crazy exact, but now we have our lineup that we actually want here. We have 2 pillars that we can put on ground, which is what we need to be able to place our bridges down. Let's get the bridge again that we had before, start over here. The first one still has to go all the way over. If you can, start on a plateau, so your bridge doesn't look super funky when you're done with it. Right there should be good. And now this is the part that you've been waiting for. You can just build a bridge now that ends on ground, that doesn't end on water. So it actually lets you build that. Build it in a way that feels right, with the right distances, and that is your first real bridge. Because now you delete your first one, and then you build your actual bridges right next to it, just snapping to the same snap points that you had before. There is one, where is it? There's one there. These don't have to be exactly next to each other, and this all looks a little funky just because of, I don't know, the angle or something. But having the snap points in the same area just means you can put signals in the same area, which is, I think it's nice. This looks nicer, so we just built these. And we essentially just turned 4 blocks into 12 blocks, is that right? So we tripled the capacity of the bridge just by doing it this way. You do need to do this usually at the beginning and not when the game is already established, but it's definitely something that you can do, and I highly recommend you do this every time, because I'm pretty certain that ships can still pass underneath. And this should be good. Let's get our correct rail connection. I did do all of this in electric now, so please don't judge me. Just trying to speed this up a little bit. Get your connections in the way you had them before. There was nothing wrong with those. And now get all of this built. That looks great. Signal up like you did before. Nothing wrong with how you did the signaling. Those 2 there. Those 2 here. And now you can just add the following ones here. You can be super anal and exact about this if you want to, because looking at this from the side, nope, they're actually on the same height, so that's good. The problem is here though. I started the bridges from 2 separate sides, and that actually messed with the pillars, so now they're not really aligned anymore. Something that we can probably do with that, and I'm actually curious about if that actually works. Let's take these out and these out, and only leave 1, or at least if there are 2 already that are next to each other, then yeah, we leave the 2 that are already good. That looks fine. Let's get back to our bridges. Yeah, that looked ugly, and I don't think a ship will actually pass underneath that, so it's not really solving your whole issue, so I don't want to call it done. How about this one? Yep, that's aligned. Perfect. Get me another one. Nope, too far away. How about on this side? Actually, no. When you started on the other side, that's when the discrepancies happen. So started from here to the end. I don't know. What do you think? I think it is like it was before, because they always have their own pillar. They're never gonna be perfect pillars, but I wish it would look a little better. I do wish it would look a little better, but... Okay, the game crashed there. I'm not going to make you sit through all of this again, but this is the last autosave. I was hoping I could get something out of it, but no. Also, another thing, if you're really worried about ship traffic and 4 bridges will not let you have ship traffic there, you can just use 2, because you just essentially tripled the throughput here. So taking 2 bridges away is still a lot bigger than what you had before. So that's just an option. The other thing that I think was playing into that is the angle that you're going down is pretty high here, it's pretty low there. I think if you do the middle piece all at the same height instead of going at a slant, at an angle, at a slope, may help with that too. But overall, that's just how you have to build the... Excuse me. That's how you have to build the bridges. Otherwise, you're just going to have one long piece. And you can do that with all the bridges whenever you want, but you do need a piece of land underneath it, otherwise nothing is working. Yeah, did I have anything else? No. Really like this map. I may actually steal this map. I don't know yet. I do have to look for new maps, but by the time this comes out, I probably already streamed looking at new maps, so we'll see what happens, but this is an option. This is definitely an option. If there's some... Ooh, forestry. This is pretty. Having all the different trees in here instead of one, I like it. I like that a lot. One thing I will say, the game did not, or the game could not download all the mods that you had available, so if there's something that you were thinking I'm missing, it's probably because there's a mod that wasn't available for what I wanted to do, or just not available for me to play. I think to say goodbye, I would like to follow one of your trains. Just have to find one. You're gonna go in here and unload. I think that's fine. Let's get a dynamic view. Let's turn all of this off. Let's turn my video off. Perfect. And then I can leave you with this guy because he's going somewhere. I don't know where, but it's a proper long train that's going to go through the Republic, and I think we can enjoy it. So, Blinda Q, really appreciate for you sending me... Wow. Let's try that again, shall we? Yes. Okay, kernel failure mode. When you do something wrong, keep it in the video because it's interesting and it could be funny. Great. No, Blinda Q, really appreciate you sending me the save. It was very fun. I saw a couple things that I may actually steal. I hope I gave you a couple things to think about, but overall, like you said in your explanation to me, everything is kind of working. Really, please... If you want, play this map on your, with Crime and Justice. Maybe I even try it. Maybe I even try to turn this on here and see how it goes. Because I'm curious. It looks like overall you're doing, well, actually no. I'm going to take that back because your pollution is really high. So your health is going to go really low, especially if you're not supplying all the sport that you need. And I haven't even looked at, are we going fast? No, we're not. I haven't even looked at what your citizen reaction is, so maybe that makes a difference. But overall, I like your map. It's really impressive how little you import, so keep it up. Really like it. Thanks for sharing. And for everyone else, if you like this kind of stuff, there will be more if you send me more, because I need more to show more. It's pretty simple, right? But thanks for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.